I was so driven by fear and jokes and comedy and all of that.
Yeah, you were.
Picture this. It's the early 90s, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is a cultural sensation. But behind the laughter and lighthearted moments on screen, tensions simmer on set. Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Viv, is caught in a complex feud with Will Smith. She's fighting to balance her pride as an actress with her growing frustration, feeling her role is overshadowed by Will's skyrocketing fame. Little did she know, this tension would soon spill over, impacting her career and mental health for years to come. What really happened between these two stars, and why did it run so deep? The feud between Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Will Smith became one of television's most infamous conflicts. Known for her strong presence and captivating performance, Janet's sudden departure from the show shocked fans. But the story behind her exit revealed a much deeper divide. From rumors of on-set tension to public disputes, Janet's career and personal life were profoundly affected. Despite their 2020 reunion, Janet recently opened up about the lingering impact. In this video, we'll dive into the origins of their feud, its effect on her life, and the truth behind their long-standing rift. If you're enjoying our deep dives into the stories behind your favorite stars, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss our upcoming videos exploring more fascinating behind-the-scenes tales from Hollywood. The origins of Janet Hubert and Will Smith's feud trace back to the early seasons of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Janet, an accomplished actress with strong opinions on her craft, had a distinct vision for her role as Aunt Viv. Her portrayal was vibrant and sophisticated, giving Aunt Viv a depth that resonated deeply with audiences. However, as Will Smith's popularity surged, the show's focus began shifting more towards his character and comedic style, often sidelining the ensemble cast. This change in direction didn't sit well with Janet, who reportedly felt that her character's strength and storylines were being diluted. Behind the scenes, she often advocated for the integrity of her role and clashed with some decisions, which reportedly led to tension. Will Smith, at the time a young rising star, saw things differently, viewing the show as his major break and favoring a more lighthearted tone. Conflicting perspectives and a gap in experience created misunderstandings that only deepened over time. According to Janet, her vocal stance led her to be labeled difficult by some in production. This label would have lasting repercussions, ultimately setting the stage for her departure and impacting her career trajectory. Janet Hubert's sudden departure from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1993 stunned fans, who were left wondering why such a talented actress had left the show. The official explanation cited creative differences, but behind the scenes, Janet's departure was far more complex. Tensions with Will Smith and production had reached a breaking point, and rumors circulated that she had been difficult to work with. When the show's producers offered her a contract renewal with significantly reduced terms, Janet felt undervalued and unsupported. Unable to agree to the terms, she made the painful decision to step away from the role she'd brought to life. The fallout was immediate. Hollywood insiders branded Janet as challenging to work with, and her opportunities dwindled in the years that followed. Unlike her co-stars, who continued to find success in film and television, Janet struggled to shake off the stigma attached to her name. Her portrayal of Aunt Viv was iconic, but her reputation overshadowed her talent, making it difficult for her to find substantial roles. Over time, Janet spoke out about her experience, expressing frustration at being reduced to the difficult label and feeling that her career had been unfairly stifled. The emotional toll was enormous as she watched her co-stars thrive while she remained largely on the sidelines. In interviews, Janet shared how the professional setbacks had impacted her personally, leaving her to navigate the consequences of an on-set feud that altered the course of her career and affected her public image for decades. After leaving The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Janet Hubert faced not only professional setbacks, but also significant personal struggles. Losing the role of Aunt Viv, a character she had poured her heart into, was a deeply painful experience. The loss of steady work and the label of difficult in Hollywood made it challenging for Janet to rebuild her career, creating ongoing financial and emotional strain. The stress and disappointment from these career challenges led her to battle depression, and she has been open about how difficult it was to find hope during this time. Janet felt that she was unfairly blamed for the fallout, which left her grappling with feelings of isolation. She shared that the feud with Will Smith and the negative perception of her in the industry had lasting effects on her self-worth and mental health. In interviews, she's described how the years following Fresh Prince were some of her darkest, as she tried to cope with the impact on both her career and personal identity. Despite these challenges, Janet has shown resilience, eventually finding strength to speak her truth. Her openness about mental health has also made her a voice for others facing similar struggles in a demanding industry. Following her departure from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Janet Hubert faced a challenging battle against the public perception shaped largely by media narratives. Will Smith's rising stardom and charismatic public image made him relatable and beloved, while Janet's absence and her difficult label, hinted at by both Smith and show producers, painted her in a different light. The media fueled this narrative, often casting Janet as the antagonist in the story, without fully exploring her side of the events. For years, public opinion was heavily influenced by this portrayal, leaving Janet with few opportunities to clarify her perspective. Fans and media outlets often echoed the sentiment that she was the source of tension on set, creating a lasting impact on her career and public reputation. The new Aunt Viv, played by Daphne Maxwell Reid, was quickly embraced, further isolating Janet from her former cast and the show's legacy. Over time, Janet has spoken out, challenging the one-sided narrative and advocating for her truth to be heard. Her story highlights the powerful influence of media narratives on celebrity reputations, especially for those who, like Janet, found themselves overshadowed by a media-dominant co-star in the midst of a publicized conflict. In 2020, Janet Hubert and Will Smith shocked fans with an emotional reunion on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 30th anniversary special. For nearly 27 years, tensions had simmered between the two, with Janet often sharing her side in interviews, voicing frustration over being labeled difficult and how it had shaped her career and personal life. This reunion was a chance for both to reflect on the feud and its lasting impact, opening a path to reconciliation. In a candid conversation, Will acknowledged the role he played in the conflict, admitting that, as a young actor focused on his rising fame, he hadn't fully understood the pressures and experiences Janet was going through at the time. Janet, in turn, expressed the pain of feeling unsupported and misunderstood, especially as she navigated difficult circumstances in her personal life during her time on the show, including a challenging pregnancy and issues in her marriage. The exchange was raw and emotional, with both admitting that the feud had taken a heavy toll on them. In a powerful moment, Will apologized and Janet accepted, allowing them both to find closure and publicly move forward. This reconciliation marked a turning point in their lives, with Janet finally feeling heard and validated after decades of struggle. The reunion brought new understanding from fans as well, leading to renewed appreciation for Janet's portrayal of Aunt Viv and the legacy she left behind. For both actors, it symbolized growth, healing, and a new chapter, honoring the show's legacy and their shared history. The feud between Janet Hubert and Will Smith left a lasting mark on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's legacy, highlighting how off-screen dynamics can impact the legacy of a show. Janet's original portrayal of Aunt Viv remains iconic, with her character embodying strength and grace. Yet the conflict shaped the show's future direction and cast relationships. Over time, fans have come to recognize the complexities behind their feud, appreciating Janet's contributions and her resilience. The 2020 reconciliation allowed both actors and viewers to reflect on the importance of understanding, forgiveness, and the often hidden pressures within the entertainment industry. Janet Hubert's journey reflects resilience amid industry challenges and personal trials. Her legacy as Aunt Viv remains unforgettable, symbolizing strength and grace. What are your thoughts on the Fresh Prince feud? Do you think Hollywood handles conflicts fairly? Share your perspective in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.